mackerel. Looks like there's a Lakers fan ready to join the Producers Podcast, Paul.
Hello.
Now that is a dramatic entrance, my brother.
You like that? You got to figure out how to do a dramatic entrance when you do these Zoom meetings. You just can't sit here.
Right.
You have to do something.
Well, this is the Producers Podcast. Tall Paul Joseph in the Lakers hat. I've got my Pebble Beach shirt on.
Yes, you do.
Yeah, Pebble Beach. Let's try that again. And it's season 2, episode 3 of the Producers Podcast. A couple of radio, television producers, Paul Joseph, Jack Silver, just kind of killing 30 minutes. And
with you.
Yeah, with you. Mm-hmm. You and you. And I was gonna start with all the stuff we got coming up. But I did want to teach some of the new podcast newbies, Paul.
Okay.
What not to do when you start a podcast.
Let's do it.
We'd like to apologize for all the technical difficulties that we had leading into today's podcast.
They don't know about them.
They have no idea what I'm talking about. But you hear that all the time on radio, TV. Oh, so sorry about all the technical difficulties and the snafus. Yeah. Hey, bro, I didn't even notice it.
That's right. And nobody cares, by the way.
No. But here's one piece of advice.
Yes.
Make sure your mouse is batteried up.
Check your props.
Check your props.
That's all you need to know.
That's good advice for the newbies.
That's it.
All right, but we got a jam-packed show. So first we got to start out with the Tall Paul update. Just a quick one. Has there been more construction issues at the house, or how we look?
Oh, please. As I sit and right now view out my window a porta potty where now, have you ever heard of a farm sink?
I have not.
Do you know what it is?
I do not.
Yeah, you don't know. Okay.
No.
A farm sink is a sink that, the lip of it comes over the cabinets, and it's specially built and placed in, and you have to move God's green earth to get one. So we're in a whole delay because we don't have one. We can't get one. We were told it was going to be here last week. It didn't show up. Again, this week, didn't show up. And so now all these people are waiting. They can't move forward because everything revolves around centering this piece in, and then they've got to do a template for the stone and all that stuff. It's a mess, Jack.
Well, as we've talked about, I'm sorry that's happening for you, but as we've talked about before, anytime you do any home remodeling projects, the guy will say, hey, no problem. It's going to cost this. It'll be finished by that, and no problems.
It looks so good on TV.
Well, it does.
I mean, it looks wonderful. They don't show you sitting here staring at an empty porta potty that you have to call, by the way, and get them to come out and clean it halfway through because some really bad odors start coming out of there about 3 or 4 days in.
Well, porta potties are the scourge of the earth, or whatever it is. And
yes.
But I digress.
Yeah.
So sorry. So it looks like we're making some progress. You got the farm sink, and hopefully at some point it'll be smooth sailing.
I'm going to put a picture of the farm sink when we finally get it up here.
Good. Okay. Well, I was going to start with it sucks and it doesn't suck, or suck, don't suck. It's a new bit, Paul. It's a benchmark that will probably last 1 week because you won't like it. But all right, first, here's what sucks. Stubbing your pinky toe. I don't, and I apologize for everyone who's cringing right now.
Yeah.
But if you've ever stubbed your pinky toe, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And interphalangeal joints. That's what you've actually done. You've sprained it. Yeah. It's a sprain. And it really hurts. I used to play, I still do karate, but I used to do it on a blue mat at the dojo, which you can't go to anymore. And you would stub your toe occasionally. Oh. The worst pain I've ever had. It's amazing. Like picture, it's just a little baby toe.
Yeah.
And then if you clip it on something, the door, anything. I did it yesterday, Paul. I'm not kidding. The thing is the most painful for a small little pinky toe.
Yeah.
The damn thing is painful as crap. So I'm.
What did you hit? What did you hit?
Kind of the as you walk into a room, the door, when it's open, it's the door. I hit the freaking door.
Okay.
I think what I need to do, Paul, is kind of go a little wider on my turns.
Yeah.
So I quit jamming my pinky toe.
Can I ask one question about this?
Yes, you may.
Was this like after 5 o'clock in the evening?
This was in the morning. No,
okay.
no tequila
had
anything to do with it. This was just
you got to make the wide turn.
Yeah.
Where the pinky toe gets jammed in there. And I apologize for everyone cringing every time I hit your pinky toe.
That's
but
right.
That sucks.
Yeah, it's horrible.
Yeah.
You got me cringing right now.
Right.
Yeah.
Here's what doesn't suck.
What?
When the you see this? Let's see.
Yes.
Yeah. When the new beer of the month club delivery shows up.
Oh, I'll take the ring neck right there.
Isn't that classic?
One. Yeah.
12 bottles, and it looks like this month they're going stout and whatever these ales are.
Yeah.
So that should be about an hour for me to kind of down those 12. And then I'll move on. No, I'm just, just kidding.
I think that's one sitting for you.
No, that's not. I treat those with high regard and high respect.
Yeah.
And but that doesn't suck when
it doesn't suck. Chill me a ring neck.
What is that?
I said, chill me up a ring neck.
I will do that for you, no doubt. So that's that. Elsewhere in the world now, the COVID thing. I don't know if you heard, Paul. It's still going.
Is it?
Oh yeah.
I don't leave my house. Yeah, aside from porta potty schedule of when it's being cleaned out, I'm really just sitting here looking out a window. I have no idea what's going on.
Yeah, I don't know what to say. But from everything I read in the paper and every time I watch, and by the way, I still read the newspaper, which also gives away my age. But this COVID's still happening. And we want people to continue to wear masks, social distance, and whatever else. Wash your hands so we can get out of this cockamamie mess.
Right.
But evidently that message didn't get to the NFL coaches.
No.
So earlier this past week.
Oh, look at Pete Carroll right in the middle there with his mask off. What are you doing, Pistol Pete?
Right. So you got Pete Carroll in the middle with basically using it as you say, an ascot or a neck warmer. Right. You got on the left, you got Kyle Shanahan of the San Francisco 49ers. I don't even know what that is.
It doesn't look like a mask at all.
Yeah. Kyle. And then Vic Fangio of the Broncos. Now, the NFL did make a statement by fining each of those guys $100,000.
Yeah.
And each team $250,000.
Yeah, so, I think they got over $1 million in fines handed out, right?
Right. And I think they're going to throw some money throw some fines at John Gruden of the Raiders, because he did the same thing. And all they're saying is, look, you're on the sidelines, you got a lot of people there, a lot of players coming off the sidelines.
Yeah.
Wear your mask would be much appreciated.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
right.
Exactly.
And then the other one that we've talked about, which is these Karens.
Oh, the crazy Karens.
Crazy Karens, which basically refers to outrageous, middle-aged, Caucasian women who go off on the system because it doesn't apply to them, Paul.
No. They have their own set of rules, apparently.
Oh, yeah. Social distancing, no.
I don't get it.
Yeah, hand washing, no. So we always try to go out and see if we can locate some of these videos. And so
we got another crazy Karen. Is this from the British
let me see
British side?
Yeah, let me see if I can find it.
Oh yeah, please. We want to see her as she goes off.
Oh yeah. Hold on. I got a lot of stuff here. I'm gonna have to close. Now, hold on. Check your props.
Check
Paul.
your props. Make sure that they're good.
All right.
This is an educational course.
Can you see?
Oh yeah.
Can you see this?
Oh, what is she doing? She's hitting the plastic?
Well, hold on real fast. Yeah. She's hitting the plastic. Well, basically what they're trying to do is get people to come into the store one way,
right,
and exit the other way. So this is kind of a way to get in and out of the store. She didn't like the fact that there was the plexiglass, and she wanted to go her own way because, of course, she's a crazy Karen, and it doesn't really apply to her. So watch her. So now she's starting to throw crap.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Then she goes.
No, she's doing a little shelf clearance. Look at that. Oh, all the wines too. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And evidently those are some of the good wines up on top. Now, Paul, I would ask a question. I have to ask you a question. What does crashing wine bottles have to do with wearing a mask or being COVID sensitive? What the hell is she trying to prove here?
I don't know, but I can tell you one thing for sure. Each one of those wines, it looks like a drugstore. They're probably, $8 to $10 bottles. She has to pay for. So she probably broke. It looks like, I don't know, maybe 50 bottles there.
Yeah. And some
50 times 10, $500, my friend.
Yeah. Well, you know what? She's, but again, it goes back to the original point.
Yeah.
Come into the store the way we want you to, wear your mask, buy your feminine hygiene products.
Yeah.
And then walk out the way we want you to walk out.
Yeah.
You're not exempt, lady.
Right. You know, follow the rules, follow the arrows. How about that? Follow the arrows.
I think it's pretty easy. And by the way, this one wasn't even in America. This is England where they're now going crazy.
That's what I thought. I thought that was Krazy Karen.
That's a British
England.
Krazy Karen.
Yeah. Well, that's going to cost her because I'm sure she was arrested. She'll pay a fine and she'll pay for the damage and the cleanup.
As well she should.
She's out some bucks. Hope she had fun.
And I'll say the same thing I've always said with these crazy Karens. It's got to stop, and it's got to stop now. Because, honey, what you just did has nothing. That's not helping us get out of the quarantine world.
No, at all.
In fact, it's making everyone even a little more on edge, if that's humanly possible. Because I don't want to be at the drugstore picking up some prophylactics, say,
right,
a couple of condoms, some of the extra large condoms.
Extra large.
And have this crazy broad coming out and crashing a bunch of wine bottles.
Exactly. Exactly. It's frightening for everybody. And that poor woman behind the counter, she looked frantic.
Well, can you imagine? And by the way, that's a great point too. I work at the drugstore. I'm making $10 to $12 an hour max.
Right.
I don't want to enforce the COVID restrictions.
Of course not.
I just want to give you your feminine hygiene products and whatever
else you're buying.
And get and a pack of Viceroys, pack of smokes.
Follow the arrows yourself and get the hell out of it.
Right.
That's it.
Right. And you see this all the time. I saw another one last week where it was a fast food place where the lady got up on the counter.
Oh, I saw that.
And started either kicking the guy or I'd be like, look, honey, here's the situation. I'm not making enough to enforce the COVID restrictions. So you have at it.
Yeah, have at
it. If you want to kick every Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich off the counter, I could give a crap less.
Me, myself, and I like to go in there, enjoy the frivolity around me, get my Impossible Burger, and get out of there.
Thank you, Paul. Because you're tall Paul Joseph, and you understand there's only one way out of this, folks.
As Tommy Lasorda, the great former Dodger manager, once said, if we're not all pulling on the same side of the rope, we're just pulling against ourselves.
Well, Tommy, who just celebrated his 93rd birthday,
he's amazing.
Is always right. So, all right, cool. All right, so that's that. That's between the coaches not wearing the masks and the crazy British Karens. That's our that's our observations on the COVID restrictions.
I like it.
Yeah, and it's not political. It's just let's get out of this
mishmash of information.
Mishmash. I like it. All right. Now, you also found something pretty interesting this week, which I thought was also cool because we had some crazy commercials over time. I'll stop using the word crazy.
Yeah, we do ridiculous commercials from time to time.
Ridiculous commercials. So
in this one, although it wasn't the same one as the prostate one where we had water shooting out of every direction and huge fountains and all that. This one tickled me because this is a subject that I can't imagine even ever thinking about, much less what they show in this commercial, like you're attending a seminar on your leaf gutter filter.
Okay, so is this the one you're talking about?
Yeah, this is it, where that supposedly is a seminar. Obviously, those are actors, where they're all sitting listening to a guy talk about a leaf filter for your gutter.
Okay.
Like this would bring people in like at 6 or 7 at night after work.
Right.
You sit like that and ask questions about a leaf filter. Roll the tape.
Who here struggles with clogged gutters?
Who here struggles with clogged gutters? Why in the hell else would you be there if you happen to go to one of those things if you didn't?
Hey, buddy, I thought this was the free trip to Tahiti. I thought this was the timeshare meeting, but okay. Yeah. As it turns out, I've got a problem with leaf filters.
Right. So you show up for the web there and you do that whole seminar.
Look at that.
I mean, can you imagine? Oh, look, then he's showing the gutter, the damage.
And every person is, and you can tell, Paul, too, another thing I love about these kind of commercials, they're cast properly. You have the good-looking Asian couple here. You've got the other Caucasian people there. You've got the African-American.
Grandpa in the front.
Every nationality is represented, and everybody's really pretty and very handsome, as it turns out.
No, it's really. Well put. Oh, and they're talking about it on the side. It's so interesting that they're talking amongst themselves, and look at the hands going up.
Oh,
for questions about the leaf filter.
Paul, I mean, I think it's fair to say all of us have many, many questions.
I don't. Jack, have you ever? You've owned several places. Have you ever even thought of a leaf filter? Has it ever crossed your mind?
In all honesty, it's crossed my mind over time, but I don't have a myriad of questions regarding it. In other words, I'm just, how can I clean my gutters? I usually have a guy come, the landscaper guy gets up on a ladder, scoops the leaves out. But it turns out these actors, I mean, these people have a lot of deep thoughts on leaf filters.
I think it goes further than that. I think deep-rooted problems about gutters and leaf filters. I mean, I've never had mine cleaned.
Yeah.
I don't know what they look like up there, but they don't seem to cause a problem for me. I don't lose any sleep over it. This guy and this
guy is losing.
That couldn't be a husband and wife. It looks like a father-daughter.
Right.
I mean, I hope.
All right, let's keep rolling. Oh no, she's reminding him. Reminding him it's dangerous to get on the ladder. Now that I do agree with.
I think it's more dangerous to get in your car and drive to one of these right now and sit there without a mask on and listen to this nonsense. And this guy instructing. Oh,
and of course, out of nowhere. Oh, sir, after all this information, how does it work?
Right. And then we have a demo girl that's
and then the demo woman's.
Yeah, exactly how it's. Oh, the easy slide over. Look at that. And then the water just, I mean, this isn't rocket science. They put like a cheese grater on top of your filter. The water goes through it and the leaves don't, And by the way, I did a little investigation on this because it intrigued me. Guess what it costs you to do that to your house? Average.
Couple grand?
Take a shot. Yeah.
3,000?
Yeah. Right.
Oh, no, it's not cheap. No, I can tell. And you know why, Paul? Because you got to pay these actors to come in and pretend like.
Well, that's what it is. It's all the commercial time that they buy. Right. That's why.
So, big finish.
Yeah.
Oh. It's free, and you'll get a free gutter inspection too.
You get a free gutter. Well, I would hope so. You're going to be up there.
And this couple.
Yeah.
Her quote was, "We're sold."
Yeah, they look like they're sold. They're happy, and they're going to sign up. I guess they're going to write a check for $2,000 right
now and get
walk out. Well, pretty good. Count those people up. He made quite a bit of money there. Probably 20, 30.
So I think that's basically it. Then they give you the
leaffilter.com for your free gutter inspection and estimate. Or log on today and
I'm going to call for my free gutter inspection.
I mean, look, if you got a house that needs that, I guess it's not a bad idea.
It was shocking to me. That's why I wanted to show it to you.
But it is funny, and I think it's funny too that I may have seen that commercial. Like sometimes you're watching TV, but you're not really paying attention.
Right.
And I think I've seen that. And I thought, wow, what a good-looking group.
Yeah.
I wonder what they're talking about.
Right.
Oh, it's leaf filters.
You had no idea that people get together in groups to talk about leaf filters.
Yeah, I'm not interested anymore. So thank you. Well,
they've lost me.
That's funny stuff. Good catch. Good catch.
Thank you.
All right. Now, the other thing that you caught, which I know Paul's on a roll this week.
I'm on a roll.
Doing some producing for the Producers Podcast.
Well, I'm the content king.
What is it?
I'm the content king.
Well, you've made a living producing radio and television shows. And what you do is you bring stuff to the table. Come in with something, guys.
Yes, every day.
Please. All right, so now this one, I don't know how you found this one, but I guess.
Oh, this one was great because this man, take a look at him. When he was 14 years old, 1960, he was 14, and he, vice president at the time, Nixon, was running against Kennedy and stopped in Illinois, and I guess at some Chamber of Commerce meeting, ate a sandwich, took a bite of a buffalo chicken sandwich. Well, this guy at 14 saved the other half of the sandwich that Richard Nixon didn't eat, froze it, and even they're also showing there, even I think in 1988 or something, he went on Johnny Carson, the Tonight Show with it, showed the sandwich there. But here he is today still showing the sandwich. That's him at 74. He's got half-eaten frozen sandwich of Richard Nixon's that he ate in the 1960 primary for the presidential nomination. Of course, Nixon lost that to Kennedy and didn't win until years later. But
and evidently he wrote a book, Paul, The Sandwich That Changed My Life.
Yeah.
And look, I guess I think the reason it popped up on your Twitter feed or wherever is that it was 60 years ago this week.
Yeah, 60 years. Yeah.
Yeah, 60 years ago. Mm-hmm. But here's what I would say to that. Let me say this about that.
Please do.
I think that was a Richard Nixon
using
line.
Kennedy vernacular.
Oh, is that who it was?
Yeah.
But
yeah, let me say this about that. That's it.
Because my feeling is, look, I save baseballs and autographed items, football helmets.
You freeze them?
I'm sorry?
Do you freeze any of them?
No, I don't freeze them, and I wouldn't have thought, because I know people collect potato chips that have it almost looks like a picture of Jesus on the potato chip, or in this case, I just think it's like a very peculiar thing to say.
I find it very odd.
All right.
I was wondering, like, if someone offered you, I don't know, $100,000, would you eat the rest of that sandwich? If you
For $100,000? Yeah, I would eat the sandwich.
You would.
Well, it's been frozen, and to quote
for 60 years, Jack.
But to quote Bigfoot,
it's like dinosaur meat.
Well, to quote Bigfoot from the Howard Stern show recently, everybody has their price.
Yeah.
And because they were asking him to do weird stuff. Anyway, but I digress. It's a unique thing, and if he likes it still these many years later, who are we to say that it's kind of stupid and a little pathetic? That's your calling in life, that you saved a half a sandwich from Richard Nixon in 1960.
I thought it fascinating, but I also said, it also made me think, we should do this on another episode. What's the craziest thing in your freezer right now? Because everybody keeps weird things.
Let's do that, because, and just for a quick commercial for that, or, to tease it, my mother-in-law from Wisconsin has like 3 freezers full. And some of the stuff in there has to be dated 5, 10, 15 years ago.
Well, see, that's the point.
Would you take out bologna, an Oscar Mayer bologna pack from, say, 96 and thaw it out and have a sandwich?
I don't think so.
No, I think
Did she? Or did she just
I don't know. I think my father-in-law makes sure he only gets the stuff on the top.
Oh, yeah. You got to be real careful.
You don't want to dig too far down in the freezer.
Yeah.
All right, bro. Well, listen, first of all, we're knocking it out of the park.
Yes.
I had to critique the Producers Podcast Season 2, Episode 3.
No.
But to tie a bow around it, and, if you don't like fantasy football, now's your time to turn off the podcast.
Oh, are we ended?
Well, we're getting close. But Paul?
Yes.
After a couple weeks of the NFL season.
Yeah.
And you're deep into fantasy football. I have 2 teams in some public leagues with Yahoo. Yeah. But imagine if you had drafted Saquon Barkley or Christian McCaffrey or the San Francisco defense or Tyrod Taylor or Devontae Adams. How you feeling right now?
That is my team. I feel awful. I mean, seriously. I mean, several of those players are awful. So much so that, you know how you go on the waiver wire to buy somebody to replace. This Mike Davis I tried to buy to replace Christian McCaffrey at the Panthers.
Yeah.
I was outbid. This guy bid, it's a blind bid. This guy bid $77 to get this Mike Davis.
Well,
$77.
That's a shot in the dark.
I bid 11. Of course, I lost big time.
Yeah. But basically what we're talking about here is these injuries. And, all the experts on ESPN or NBC or Fox or wherever, supposed experts, they're saying the same thing I'm about to say. You had no summer conditioning.
Right.
You had no training camp. You came out, everybody's cold, and the turf at some of the stadiums are questionable. And a guy like Saquon Barkley, who normally would have taken some hits in the preseason, or Christian McCaffrey, Barkley pulled or tore the ACL.
Yeah.
Now would it have been different if he had had some preseason conditioning? I think so. I'm not sure, but the amount of injuries that happened in week 2 of the NFL just shows, especially a sport like that. Baseball, maybe you can get away with it, maybe basketball, but if you haven't gotten hit all spring and summer, and all of a sudden got some guys wrestling you out of bounds, like what happened to Barkley,
right?
It makes perfect sense that these injuries are going to mount up even more as the weeks go by. Yeah,
it's just a shame because so much great talent now sitting out the whole season. Barkley. Yeah. And I don't know about McCaffrey if he's going to be out.
McCaffrey probably be back, but Nick Bosa, the big defensive end, I think he was the defensive player of the year last year.
Yeah.
Got to the Super Bowl. He's out. So
Yeah.
We'll keep a track of that. And, you know, meanwhile, it does give opportunities for some of the, like if you're lucky enough to get other guys like Alvin Kamara or other Lamar Jackson or other guys who haven't been hurt, you're going to get buoyed up, Baba buoyed up in your.
Yeah, Baba buoyed up. But listen, I think the most important thing to remember is even if you're 0-2 right now, I'm 1-1, but if you're 0-2, you can still win this thing because I think there's a lot more injuries to come. And I think it's going to flip a lot of these teams that are doing poorly now. They may only have marginal medium talent. Yeah. That medium talent may end up winning by the end of the year.
Yeah.
You know,
well, that's the fun of it. And we'll tie a bow around it with your Lakers hat, your Los Angeles Angels with Anaheim.
Got to wear it. I'm getting my hair cut, but it's so long now. I wear my hat, and the Lakers are doing great.
Well, they are. And I'm getting my hair cut soon, too. So hopefully the next time we won't look like a couple of ragamuffins, a couple of street people.
A couple of sports guys wearing every bit of sports gear we can get, right?
Well, listen, remember, everybody, share the podcast of the producers.
Like it, comment on it, share it, please.
Send it out on Twitter, Instagram, whatever. TikTok, while there is still a TikTok. I don't know.
Oh, it's staying.
Oh, is it staying?
Yes.
All right, so do that, and we'll check it next time. It's the Producers Podcast, Tall Paul, Jack Silver. I always like to end it with like a countdown, Paul. So.
Oh, no countdown.
No countdown?
Just
let's just say, goodbye.
Bye.